Alex Carter woke up at 5 a.m., just like every other day. The alarm rang through the spacious yet empty bedroom. Without even glancing at the clock, he immediately reached for his phone, checking emails, messages, and the online meetings already lined up for the day. Notifications popped up one after another, each demanding his immediate attention. Alex frowned, tapped to confirm schedules, then got up and headed toward the bathroom with the speed of someone long accustomed to a hectic routine. In the kitchen, Emily Carter let out a quiet sigh as she prepared breakfast. She silently placed a cup of coffee and 2 slices of toast on the table, her eyes drifting toward the bedroom door where Alex was getting ready to leave. Her gaze grew heavy, not from fatigue, but from a sense of loneliness, of being adrift in a house filled with material comfort, yet lacking warmth. Olivia, their 8-year-old daughter, sat on a high chair, crayons in hand, sketching a colorful picture. Every so often, she glanced at the clock eyes, wide with anticipation, wondering if today her father might come home early enough to see her drawing. Alex came down the stairs, dressed sharply, in a suit, polished briefcase slung over his shoulder. He glanced quickly toward the kitchen and said, "I'm off to work." No one answered. Emily forced a faint smile, hiding her sadness, while Olivia simply shrugged and went back to drawing a picture of a house with trees and a radiant sun, a world where her father was always there. On his way to the car, Alex opened his work app. A stream of meeting notifications appeared: new product development strategies, quarterly financial reports, international partner emails. He skimmed them, fired off a few quick replies, then forgot about the older ones. Even breakfast, the untouched toast and cooling coffee, wasn't enough to pull him away from the relentless flow of work. Emily and Olivia watched his figure fade as he left the house. No farewell, no hug, no smile, exchanged only silence. Olivia sighed, crayon still in hand, eyes fixed on the window. Emily pressed a hand to her chest, feeling a small emptiness she knew wealth and success could never fill. Meanwhile, seated in his car, Alex scrolled through emails and messages, his mind occupied entirely with numbers, reports, and deadlines. He didn't notice his wife's sorrowful eyes, nor hear the quiet sighs of his daughter. To him, it all seemed natural, another day, beginning with important tasks, while family remained nothing more than a faint backdrop in the busy canvas of his life. Time slipped by quickly, and the clock on the wall blinked. 6:00 p.m. Emily Carter carefully set the dining table for dinner, the last rays of sunlight streaming through the window, casting a warm glow over the steaming dishes and teacups. She smiled faintly as she made a phone call. "Alex, can you have dinner with the family tonight?" Alex picked up the phone, though his eyes remained fixed on the laptop screen. A notification immediately popped up: European market strategy. 30 minutes. He replied to Emily, "I'm really sorry, I have a meeting tonight. Let's have dinner another time." Without waiting for her response, he turned back to the financial reports numbers, dancing before his eyes, not giving a thought to his wife's disappointed gaze. In the living room, Olivia sat on the floor, her half-finished painting spread across her palette, little hands smudged with paint. She looked up with hopeful eyes and asked cheerfully, "Daddy, will you watch my art class today?" Her voice was soft, but filled with expectation. Alex, still buried in his work, forced a faint smile. "Next time, sweetheart. Daddy's really busy right now." The promise of next time echoed like a familiar refrain in this household. Olivia frowned slightly, her brush hovering uncertainly above the paper, while Emily, standing quietly in the kitchen doorway, picked up the dishes with a weary resignation. Both tried to remain calm, not wanting to add pressure on Alex, but their quiet sadness seeped into every small gesture. Olivia's sigh, Emily's bowed head as she stacked the plates. Alex turned his back to them, eyes glued to the screen. For a brief moment, he paused and looked out the window. The distance between him and his family seemed to be growing. He saw Olivia painting her little hands, tired, but her eyes still shining with hope. He saw Emily standing silently, her gaze heavy with sorrow, looking at him without daring to voice reproach. A hollow ache brushed against his heart, but it was quickly smothered by the flood of data reports and unanswered emails. From the corner of his home office, Alex observed his family as though through a pane of glass, clear yet far away. He realized that every small detail, the sigh in Emily's breath, the light in Olivia's eyes, the half-hearted smiles at their daily farewells, carried messages he was too busy to read. Those simple signs, which could have moved him to stop to talk, or even just to give a hug, had become invisible under the weight of his work. Emily gently placed a hand on Olivia's shoulder, forcing a smile for her daughter. "Your drawing is beautiful, but Daddy is very busy today. Let's eat first." "Okay," Olivia nodded, though her eyes lingered on the office door, as if waiting for a miracle. Inside, both of them was quiet disappointment, but also love, and the hope that someday Alex would realize the distance that was growing between them. Alex turned back to his screen, the numbers, projects, and reports once again flooding his mind. But this time, in a fleeting silence, he felt something slipping away, the innocent eyes, the pure laughter, the small hopes, all waiting for his attention. He lowered his hand onto the mouse, not to send an email, but to think about his family. That afternoon, Alex's office lights were still on, long after the last employees had left. He leaned over his desk, eyes fixed on the numbers dancing across the spreadsheet. A message notification chimed. Alex glanced at his phone, weary-eyed, but immediately froze when he read the words, "Do you see this?" Attached was a photo of Emily and Olivia, their smiles soft and pure. The short but heartfelt words struck him like a gentle blow to the heart. Alex drew in a deep breath and lifted his gaze toward the office window. The city outside glittered under countless lights, everything running at its hurried pace. Yet inside him, a vast stillness spread. In that silence, Alex thought of Olivia. Just today, she had sat with crayons in hand, in front of an unfinished drawing, eyes glistening with tears. "Daddy, do you see my picture?" she had asked, her voice small but full of hope. He had been too busy managing only a forced smile and the familiar promise, "Next time." Now that image replayed vividly in his mind, an unshakable reminder. Alex's shoulders loosened as he closed his eyes. A memory surfaced a few months ago, during a family evening filled with laughter. Emily's bright smile when Alex teased Olivia for drawing a house with a sun too large. Olivia's giggles ringing out her eyes, sparkling with innocence. A simple dinner, yet warm and alive. The scent of baked bread flowers on the table and laughter echoing in the room. Now that memory felt like a faded, golden photograph in his heart, starkly contrasted with the present silence, distance, and emptiness. A wave of regret crashed over him. He thought of Emily, standing alone in the kitchen, her eyes following him silently, never voicing reproach. He thought of Olivia, sitting before her, sketch tears rolling down her cheeks, yearning for her father's attention. Alex felt his chest tighten. All his achievements, all his important projects, none of them mattered against the loneliness of his family. He rose, pacing across the room, each step heavy. Guilt seeped through his body, each heartbeat echoing with reminders of what he had neglected. He asked himself, why didn't I stop sooner? Why did I let work overshadow everything truly precious? Alex unlocked his phone again, but this time not to check emails or reports. Instead, he opened Olivia's photo of her half-finished drawing. Her eyes in the picture seemed to plead for his attention. He inhaled deeply, the world around him narrowing until only Emily, Olivia, and himself remained. In his mind, the image of a warm dinner table grew clearer. Laughter, the soft glow of the overhead light, the smell of baked bread and tea. He suddenly realized how he had allowed work to consume him, reducing his family to a blurred background. He remembered all the next times he had promised, each now haunting him like lingering shadows. Alex sank into his chair, head bowed, hand pressed to his forehead. His eyes blurred as months of suppressed emotions spilled over. He understood then that the distance between him and his family wasn't just about time. It was about presence, about listening, sharing, and living through the small, ordinary moments together. He told himself, I have to do something. I have to change right now. I can't let this go on any longer. In that moment, Alex felt the undeniable power of a small event, a single message, a pair of eyes, a tear that was enough to awaken a man, to pull him from the relentless grind of work, and to make him finally see the true values of life. Alex Carter drove home one late afternoon, choosing not to announce his return. On the way, the golden sunset filtered through the car window, casting a pale glow across the streets, filling him with a strange sense of peace. For the first time in weeks, he felt life slowing down, no pressure from emails or reports weighing on him. When he stepped through the door, Alex noticed dinner wasn't fully set on the table yet. Olivia sat on the floor, playing with Lego pieces, sneaking glances at the entrance now and then. Emily was busy with a pot of soup on the stove, her hands moving quickly, but her eyes lifted the moment she recognized Alex's figure at the door. Time seemed to pause. Emily gave a soft smile, her gaze surprised yet gentle, while Olivia jumped up, her eyes shining brightly, voice trembling. Daddy, you really came home early. Alex let out a sigh, his eyes misty with emotion. I've missed too much. Let today be a new beginning. He walked into the kitchen, took off his coat, bent down to kiss Olivia's forehead, then turned to Emily, placing a hand on her shoulder. I want to help you set the table tonight. Emily smiled, a little startled, but unable to hide her joy. Together, they arranged the dinner table. Alex carefully chopped vegetables, added seasonings, while Emily guided him through simple cooking steps she used to do alone. Olivia ran around the kitchen giggling, handing her father small cookies she had baked earlier. Each little action carried a thread of connection, slowly dissolving the distance that had lingered for so long. Alex knelt to look at his daughter. You know I've wasted too much time, but today I'm here. I want to see your drawings play with You Have Dinner with Mom. Would you like that? Olivia leapt into his arms, her smile radiant. Daddy, I've been waiting for this moment for so long. As dinner neared completion, the three of them sat around the table. Alex looked at Emily, eyes glistening. I'm sorry for letting work consume me. I've missed so many important moments, but now I want to make it right. Emily placed her hand on his, saying nothing, only smiling warmly, a simple gesture that filled Alex with a peace he had never felt before. After dinner, Alex and Olivia played with Lego blocks together. Alex chuckled when his daughter pointed out the crooked pieces. "Look, Dad, the house is leaning." He pretended to be confused, making Olivia burst into laughter, her eyes sparkling with pure happiness. Emily stood nearby, watching them with tender eyes, occasionally offering gentle suggestions. Every laugh, every glance, every small gesture chipped away at the distance Alex had created over the past months. When the meal ended, Alex helped Emily clean up the dishes. He glanced at his daughter, wiping the table, and said in a warm voice, "Olivia, I promise I won't miss so many moments again. From now on, we'll share everything together." Olivia looked up at him, her eyes glimmering with joy. "I believe you, Daddy. I know you can." In that moment, Alex felt the full weight of presence. Not money, not success, not reports, but smiles, hugs, and little stories shared throughout the day. Those were the treasures he had overlooked for too long. He drew a deep breath, feeling as though the whole house, the whole family, wrapped him in an embrace of warmth, driving away every trace of work-induced tension. The soft golden glow from the kitchen lights spread across the house, painting warm hues on the radiant faces of the three. Tonight's dinner was not just about the food on the table, but also about the harmony of laughter, conversations, and affection. Olivia eagerly shared about her day in art class, describing in detail how she created special blends of colors, while Emily recounted a few amusing moments at the office. Alex listened intently, laughing along with each story, his eyes glistening as he realized how many of these simple yet precious moments he had missed over the past months. "Daddy, you know what? Today I felt the happiest I've been in a long time," Olivia said, her eyes sparkling with joy. Alex smiled, leaned down, and kissed her forehead. "I feel the same, my love. I won't miss these moments anymore." His gentle words, filled with determination, seemed to open a new chapter in their lives, a chapter of presence, love, and shared time. Emily placed her hand on Alex's, her gaze soft and tender. "You've changed a lot. I see it, and so does Olivia." Alex held her hand firmly, sensing their silent bond. All the burdens and pressures of work seemed to dissolve in the warm light and peaceful breaths of his family. After dinner, Olivia dashed into her room and returned with a finished painting. "Daddy, this is for you," she said, her little hands trembling slightly, but her eyes glowed with pride. Alex took the painting, his gaze fixed on every detail his daughter had drawn. "Thank you, sweetheart. I'll hang it right in my office," he said, his voice choked with emotion, his heart swelling with love. It wasn't just a gift. It was a symbol of connection and trust Olivia had placed in her father after long days of waiting. Then, the family cleaned up the dishes together and laughter, filling the kitchen. Alex, Emily, and Olivia washed and wiped every small act, turning into a piece of their bonding moment. Alex realized happiness wasn't hidden in numbers or material success. It was here, in these little things, a child's smile, a wife's gentle gaze, and the full presence in every moment. When everything was tidied up, the three of them settled on the sofa. The warm glow of the lamp lit up their bright faces, creating an atmosphere of peace and tenderness. Alex looked at Emily, holding her hand tightly, then at Olivia, resting her head on his shoulder. He silently promised himself that from now on, he would balance work and family never again, letting the most important things slip away quietly. "Family is what matters most," Alex said, his voice deep and warm. "Money, work, They all have value, but nothing is more precious than the time we spend together. From today, I promise I'll always be here to share, to listen, and to experience every moment with you both." Emily smiled, her eyes shining with faith. Olivia jumped up, clapping her hands in delight. "Daddy, you really won't miss out anymore, right?" Alex hugged his daughter tightly, feeling her little heartbeat against his own. "No, my love. I'll always be here for you and your mom," he answered, his voice soft, yet unwavering. The house filled with laughter, bathed in golden light, and the lingering scent of dinner. Alex looked around and realized that everything he truly needed, love, care, and these simple moments, was already right before his eyes. The days of distance and silent misunderstandings were now behind them, giving way to a present full of togetherness and a future brimming with promise. In Alex's heart, a new chapter had begun, one where work and success still mattered, but never more than the value of family love and the warmth of being truly present.